long time this na day before time. Long time got them lang loji, now you got them bongolo. Long time got them lang loji, now you got them bongolo. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. Long time got them dirty dam, now you got them concrete road. Long time got them dirty dam, now you got them concrete road. Long time got them dirty dam, now you got them concrete road. Long time got them dirty dam, now you got them concrete road. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. Long time got them jug lamp, now you got them electric light. Long time got them jug lamp, now you got them electric light. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. Long time got them broad bottom, now you got them tight straight. Long time got them broad bottom, now you got them tight straight. Long time got them broad bottom, now you got them tight straight. Long time got them broad bottom, now you got them tight straight. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. Long time got them broad churia, now you got them bamboo jai. Long time got them broad churia, now you got them bamboo jai. Long time got them broad churia, now you got them bamboo jai. Long time got them broad churia, now you got them bamboo jai. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. Long time full bucket water, now you got them overhead. Long time full bucket water, now you got them overhead. Long time full bucket water, now you got them overhead. Long time full bucket water, now you got them overhead. This time a long time, this time a long time, this na day before time. This time a long.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to 107.1 FM. I am Dinesh Jaiprashad, and this is the Dinesh Jaiprashad Show every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Guyana time. I must apologize for not being here last week because we were very much occupied in Parliament. I am saying that we have had two serious weeks in Parliament. A lot of things came out, and at the end of it, we have seen that this budget 2022 is basically a budget to make the rich richer and the poor continues to be in poverty. Tonight's program will be very, very informative, and we will bring to you a lot of information as it relates to what really is happening in Region 6, the massive neglect that is happening in Region 6, and more so, what we must do as Barbicians, as brothers and sisters in East Berbice quarantine, so that we can be able to get the natural resource fund, the money from the natural resource or oil money to come to us. So tonight, joining me will be Mr. Derek Basdale and Mr. Ernie Parks, two vibrant individuals who are serving at the RDC and the NDC level in East Berbice quarantine. And these individuals, we will be talking generally as to what really is happening in region number 6, and more so, what we should expect from the budget. I must say that over the past 17 months, we have had the PPP taking the reins of this country, and we are seeing that we are not getting value for our money. A lot of things happening that we wish that they did not happen, but we have to live with it, and we have to hope that sooner rather than later we will be able to change this government and ensure that the people get what they deserve. So with me is Mr. Derek Basdale. Good night, sir. Welcome to the 107.1.
Hi, good night, MP Dinesh. How are you? And listeners out there, it's a pleasure again to be on this program. And you will hear it as it is and Nothing else but the truth.
Thank you. Good night, Mr. Hermie Parks. How are you, sir?
Hi, MP. Good night to you and all your viewers. I'm quite while waiting for my opportunity to expose some of the neglect that taking place in our community. Yes, I'm
Thank you
looking
very
forward
much.
for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. So, brothers and sisters, viewers, listeners, wherever you are, 107.1 family, wherever you are, if you are listening via radio, thank you. Share the link. Encourage someone. If you're on Facebook, WhatsApp, wherever, social media, share the link so that we can be able to reach as much people we can. What we bring to you is the facts, the truth. You will see for yourself. This is no makeup story. This is no flowery language. This is the hard truth that will be coming to you so that you will be able to understand that even though we are all living in one Guyana, we are not being treated as one Guyanese. Those who have, and those who without, things really tight. I can recall a few programs ago. Um, this was very much a talk for one individual. Pressure bus pipe. So indeed, we are experiencing a lot of pressure here in the East Berbice Quarantine Region number 6, and so get right into the program, Mr. Basdale. How are you
Yes,
tonight?
sir.
Good.
I'm doing great.
So, what would you like to say? What is happening at the RDC as it relates to representation of the people? You are a counselor for at the
Yes.
RDC. Are things okay there? Are you able to deliver and represent the way you should? Or
It's a couple obstacles in the way, MP Dinesh and my good friend there, Ernie. Nice to have you in the same panel with me. It's a pleasure. The RDC, let me start out with RDC for our listeners out there, especially the ones in the diaspora. It's Regional Democratic Council, where in each region there is an RDC. In Berbice Region 6, it's from Mara to Molson Creek, Superuta, and uh, I'm missing one here, included. So Oriala, I'm sorry. So
yes,
we have to represent. This is an elected position that we were elected there to represent the people without fear or favor. Let me go that over again, without fear or favor. And I stand strong in that RDC, in the communities, in the constituencies, all over. I'll be driving around. Thank God I have a reliable car and I could go places, especially in this country here with this torrential rainfall, unexpected showers, and no kind of a good road. With 17 plus months of the PPP administration, there's still no good infrastructure in the streets, in the main roads, fishermen, farmers bringing out their produce and things like that. There's nothing good whatsoever. Even I am encountering a lot of situations, and I was threatened last Thursday in the RDC statutory monthly meeting, right, by the chairman of the RDC, that he'll throw me out of the room because I was talking about the crowning off of the dams, because I went in the estate, Albion Estate, and I couldn't see nothing because remember, MP Dinesh, there was black water coming in Port Morant, Albion, all over, and that black water signifies coming from the creek. So therefore, the creek was breached. The dams was breached, like Long John, East Lojan, and I know the back dam myself because it's a hobby for me in my younger days to go there and fish. And I went back there, and there is no crowing enough. When I asked the RDC, because it's public knowledge, you pay so much of money out there, where is the expenditure sheet? And I wasn't answered properly. There's no proof, and it's public knowledge. Also
okay,
today, let me give you an example. In number 4 dam, which is right next to me, because I live opposite Albion Police Station. I went in the dam to the Albion Coca, where the fishermen have to use
yes,
to
yes.
bring
Fishermen.
out their fish. It's terrible, Mr. Dinesh. From the road, Albion Public Road, to go into the residential area, the last street, is really bad. Now, from there to the poultry farm is pretty good because the poultry farm owner apparently is putting some red bricks and crush and run. But from that poultry farm to the coca, if you see the damaged dam and road there, unbelievable.
Terrible, yeah.
It's a
And
terrible,
Mr.
terrible.
Basil, that was one of the promise. That was one of the promise that the PPP said to the people. As soon as they go into office, the promise was we're gonna make this dam. About 16 months ago, Minister Zulfikar went to that area, promised the people that they're gonna build a additional wharf and do the road. And now we are 16 months away, and still
Yeah.
we are not having any work for them. Next week we will bring some pictures of that dam, and we will show the public that the plight of the people. Mr. Parks, I just today I receive a lot of information about the Alness, Manchester, McGowan Street, and so we will put up a few pics, and you will explain to the public what really is happening in these areas, and then you will touch on your favorite topic. This bridge, Allis, I was told that this bridge is the South Allis, right opposite the NDC. You go down south, just behind the church. How long this bridge was there, Mr. Park?
Just for your viewers, MP, this bridge is there for a very much long time, and I want to say clearly that this is one of the bridges that we submit for general works, and apparently the administration puts a deaf ears on especially this project. However, at our NDC level, we will do everything in the midst of our power to to bring relief to people or whatever. But this is one of the areas that the administration neglect completely.
Okay, so children use this bridge to go to school and so.
Of course, it is one of the main access bridge in our community where it joins the small Alness into the big Alness. The Alness comprise, there are two Alness, the big Alness and the small Alness. So this primary school is in this big Alness. So this is the bridge that joins the two villages together.
True.
Okay. So basically, viewers, wherever you are, listeners, this is a bridge. And it has been years now that this bridge didn't get, a facelift, maintenance, and so. As you can see there, this is dangerous, hazardous for our children. We do not want this to happen. We do not want a mishap to happen, and then we will respond. Let us be proactive. The regional administration, their officials are looking now. People from Central Ministry, oil-producing nation, and look what we are exposing our children to. There, McGowan School Street, buddy. I walked that dam for 5-6 years. I went to Winifred Gaskin Memorial Secondary, and this road, my gosh, very, very deplorable state. I am saying that why is it that our children, 21st century, going to school, gotta bust through mud. In our local language that we are using in the villages, Mr. Park, we got bust mud to get to school. Well, what is your take on this piece of road?
Mr. MP, I must say that the road indeed is in a deplorable state. I from the social committee at the NDC, and normally one of our activities is to visit schools. And I want to tell you, it is an embarrassment being a councillor to walk that, especially the McGowan Road at Manchester. I mean, the teachers complain, the residents complain, everybody complain. We try to get this road fixed through our means, through the region and whatever. And again, there's a no. We cannot understand when this project they will start embark on this project. In the meantime, resident teachers, especially emphasize teachers and students. And just to say a little bit, Mr. MP, that road facilitates two schools, the McGowan Primary and the Winifred Gaskin Memorial Secondary. And you can think how much people using that road on a daily basis. Forget about the residents, you know what I mean? These are people who using the road daily. And I want to tell you, especially with the current rainy season, it is very much terrible. You know what I mean? As a councillor, as I said, we doing our very much best, and but there is a block off somewhere, my brother, and that is what I want to highlight tonight.
So true. Thank you very much. I think the big question is now, Mr. Park and Mr. Basdeo, why is it that certain areas no work is being done? And why is it that certain areas we have a recapping of existing roads? I want the viewers and the listeners to take note. We are having one of the biggest exhibition right now in Georgetown. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday. People from all over the world gonna come and enjoy the scenery in Georgetown. I am happy that tonight we are putting up what the plight of the poor people going through. Those two schools, hundreds of children walk every day to Winifred Gaskin Memorial Secondary and McGowan Primary School. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Minister, please let us get some work done there so that the people can be able to benefit. You know, it is very bad for us to call on them and appeal. You understand, Mr. Park? They know that it is the duty of the RDC and the NDC to ensure that these things happen. But you know what is happening. There are 3 streets in Alice, one leading to the Alice Primary School, one lead to the Alice Nursery School, and one in South Alice. Madam, still 21st century, oil producing nation, Guyana, we are in a terrible state as it relates to service to our brothers and sisters in the communities. I'm hoping that tomorrow somebody can get in the area from the RDC and try, do an assessment as to what really needs to be done. So, Mr. Basdeo, coming back to you, we know that at the RDC there are some barriers in terms of getting the point of view of the opposition out into the public, especially control of the media is not there for the opposition. We outside here are getting a little bits and pieces that when it is time for you to present or Colin Moore and all the other opposition councillors to present, they are not, allowing you guys to have the media. But when it is time for the PPP guys to present, they have full coverage. What is your take on that, sir?
Well, Mr. MP, and I'll be honest. I just wonder sometimes if there is any journalist in the room. Because when you finish, you see a lot of journalists assemble to go into the chairman's office or whoever administer the statutory meeting for that day. We get once a month meeting every first Thursday. And then to see them go there, well, I only assess one thing, that the whole recording and the media news and everything is going to be doctored. All right, that's the word I'm going to use. Look, I go buy papers sometime. If the guy don't deliver papers, I go buy sometime in Rosal. The newspaper man in Rosal, they say, what happened? Nothing going on at the RDC? One last October last year, I pick up 5 copies of newspaper, right? For 3 consecutive days. The Thursday was the meeting. I think that was September 3rd. The 4th, 5th, and 6th, I pick up newspaper. I put them in a bag. I check them out thoroughly. Nothing about the RDC, our presentation on the opposition side. I took it and everybody was wondering to know what is in the bag. Then I put it on the desk, and that was my presentation. I said, where's the media coverage? And they're very genuine presentations. Not from me alone. You get Colin Moore. Sometimes Channel 8 would produce something, right, of the sort, but not all the newspaper. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, some promises or something of the sort. It's allegedly by many people out in the street that our news and our presentations are not out in the open. And this is something we got to address. I think the same thing goes on with selective news going out of Parliament too. Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It is a strategic move. It is a strategic move to keep us, out of the public view. That is why these programs are very much important for us to tell as to what really is happening within the region, the NDC, the region, and nationally. So I'm happy that you brought that out. The same situation we are having in Parliament as well. A lot of things being said by the opposition MPs are not being carried in totality, but we hear a few of the the PPP ministers, tearing all the station day in, day out. Mr. Park,
Yeah.
I know that sugar is close to you. What do you think this budget will bring to Gaisuku and to the sugar workers? You
According to
think?
what I read and I saw, there may be a 6 billion, allocated to Gaisuku. But I'm very much concerned that I want to make it clear to our viewers firstly that this money doesn't go in a normal sugar worker pocket.
Say it
Maybe
again.
this money go into projects and whatsoever. But I want to make this point crystal clear. The reopening of those closed estates, the money has been spent there and it has been waste. It has been waste presently. I mean, one of the estate I want to refer to Skellen. Apparently Skellen, it is alleged that Skellen get over almost 200 workers. Kanji, Rosal, it is alleged that they also get over 500 workers. Edmore get over 200 workers. And I want to say this clearly. All those workers depend upon the little production that Albion, Blemont, and Eidflot make. Clearly, it is a ploy they're using to maybe put money in their pockets and their supporters' pockets. Current sugar worker, they are not benefit anything presently now. Nothing.
Thank you. And we know that the promise was that as soon as they get into power, they're gonna reopen all the estates. And in Parliament last week, the week before, the Honorable Minister said that probably by 2026, then they're gonna start, function to capacity. So yes, go. You have something to say, Mr.
Yeah, Mr. MP. If you look, especially for those that say that will reopen, it is pensioners. Not only the managerial staff is pensioners, most of them. Also, they are employing workers who already passed the age at pension at Rosal. What kind of message would you send to the population? This is actually people finding work and money for their supporters. Clearly. You know what I mean? We're in a heart a man at 60 and 59 years can perform any task. In fact, 60 and 65, 62 years can perform any duty in the field. I mean, where we are going? This can't be right. This cannot be right.
Like that.
Mr. Dinesh, if I could just add
Yes,
about
sir.
the sugar. I got it in the minutes here. So I'm not gonna lie. Mr. Zulfikar, Minister of Agriculture, on September 28, 2020, at Area H, next to Chandy Singh High School, said it loud and clear when we were swearing in as councillors, vice chair, and chairman, that 2 estates will be reopened, and it's going on 15 months now. Where is this estate that's opening? Is it in the air? Couple of workers working at Kanji, some working at Skellen. Allegedly, I'm not sure because I went to Kanji, you can't get in. But around the surroundings, you can see how dirty it is. Sponge upside down in the water and everything. I don't know how they're going to open. Everybody can pass by Palmyra turn to the other turn and see the whole cane field full of cows and goats and sheep. It's abandoned. Where are they going to get a cane to cut? They got to
Exactly.
replant and do all the nursery and everything back again. Why pour money into the estate? Keep some money there, plant the cane for our use, home use in Guyana, for molasses and sugar, because everything is being replaced now. It's an advanced technology superhighway we are dealing with. MP, we got to do something. As citizens of Guyana, right, we got to come out there and do something. Let the people know, educate the people what's going on. It's the money that they are giving out is the people's money.
Exactly.
But the bigger money, and then we're going to touch on oil soon. you know. So over to you, Mr. Dinesh.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And Mr. Park made mention very much an important point that we are putting so much into Gaisuku and we are continuing to run at a loss. Yes, we know that there is a lot of a connection and association with Gaisuku, but if we do not put systems in place to diversify or redirect or train workers into other fields, we will not be able to help people. And coming back to the sugar, we know that it is cheaper to purchase and import. That is one.
Mm,
We
mm.
know that the boys who are in the boards and the top bracket at the Gaisuku receive hefty and heavy salary. The man who is the laborer, who is planting the cane and cutting the cane and throwing the manure, those workers are not getting anything. And that has been the fight for us for years. We are saying cut the top bracket. A man working at Gaisuku should not earn $1 million or 1.5 as a manager or a CEO. No, you have managerial skills, but we know that it's basically money for the boys. So this person who is a manager or a CEO or a board director or whatever the case may be, his package is very much heavy. The man who works the field receive little or nothing. Coming back to the field workers, um, in one of my show, I made a mention that why give the 250,000 to people who already receive a severance, who are employed back again at Gaisuku, some gone somewhere else, and the workers who have been there all year long, you ain't giving them 250. You know, so I'm
Yeah.
saying that that move was not fair. If you're giving 250, give everybody who are working in Gaisuku, so that you know who are there who left because of severance and so they have something, yes, but who are there, you are not discriminating against them, you're giving them a package as well to say, hey, what happened, you can go and start something that you whatever. Also, we are talking about training of workers. Mr. Park made mention of this some time ago. We had another a program somewhere and he was saying that we need to train people to survive. Something happens and guys who close, you should not be out of job. You must have a skill. There have been some programs, but a lot of individuals didn't opt for that. So we know that we are having a lot of tension as it relates to Gaisuku. I want to say to our viewers who are listening on radio, on Facebook, wherever you are, ensure that you carry the message that we are sharing with you. Ensure that you spread the word so that we can be able to understand and you can be able to understand more as to what really is happening. To the people in the East Bank of Berbice, it will be our call, it will be our justice to continue to represent you so that your children coming out
Oh.
from East Bank, from Mara, Platanka, Lightong, coming to New Amsterdam School, you can receive some form of transportation. There was a big bus. There was a big bus allocated for that area, Mr. Park. Um, and that bus used to bring the children from Lightong to New Amsterdam and take them back in the afternoon. And that bus was taken out. The region claimed that the bus got mechanical problem, but
Mhm.
you know they took that bus out without giving the people support. We are hoping that they will ensure that they put some systems in place. It cost the people in the East Bank Borbis area more than $1,000 a day to send their children to school. Imagine you have four children going to school. That is literally, busting your back, as we will say. That is killing people, basically. So, to the people in the East Bank, Barbies, we know that it is tough, but we are hoping that with this oil money, we can have some revenue so that systems can be put in place. Um, so we know that education is number one. Do not substitute education for anything else. There are a lot of moves to stall you and prevent you, but make the sacrifice. If you got to live with some relative in Amsterdam or anyway to ensure that you get to school, do that so that you will be on par as to what really is happening. So, Mr. Park, tell us a little bit more as to what really is happening at the NDC level. Are you receiving the support from the RDC, or they are just, not running your projects? And so that is,
Um,
general comments.
Mr. MP, allow me to comment a little on the bus before I comment on the NDC. Um,
So,
it grieved me to see out of those buses park at the Wim area. And the area that those buses park, we don't know that they wouldn't come out, because anything that put in that particular area doesn't come out back.
correct.
But it hurt my feelings to know that these buses were providing a service to our children. Them, we hear about maybe $30,000 cash grant or whatsoever. But I want to say something. That is a one-off payment, and you got to wait for that money. Those bus providing a lot of service. It provide protection. It provide, give you a service whereby you can monitor your children. You expect that your children would have been home at certain particular time. You know what I mean? These are some of the services that those bus provided. And to see it park like that, it hurts my feelings. You know what I mean? This is an opportunity given to this administration to build upon these things, and they just park it up. It is not good. To comment on our local NDC, tonight I will call some names. Permit me, Mr. MP, to call some names. I want to feel that our NDC has been neglected, because since I'm living at this village on this, our regional chairman visited that NDC one time. And I say one time because there were some problems in the NDC and he just dropped in. Think about the amount of youths that you pass afternoon time sitting on bridges, coke and whatsoever. Our community is suffering because of this drug-related issue. We have some sports facility, but I want to ask this question on the air tonight. Whether Mr. Charles Ramsaroop know about the Axtell and Lancaster community. I will ask this question because there is no program. And if you want to take people off or criticize people, you must provide something for them. How can us criticize those persons that have nothing to do and doesn't provide a platform that they can build upon? I am one to challenge the minister to visit our area, you understand? How much of the budget, out of the budget allocated to our NDC that we can maybe develop programs or whatsoever? I mean, I need some people to answer this question. And I want to ask one more thing. The past administration, they left us with the Kurukuru College. And that is a facility whereby all kind of things could have happened. It built for sewing, it built for home economics, it built for food processing, and all these activities lay down there. And the administration is not taking full advantage over these things. The only thing that's happening at Manchester right now by that Kurukuru College is sewing. And so I want to challenge the minister. If he's so interested of youths, let him come in this community, solve the map and find the Axtell Lancaster community and visit us. And then he can talk. Then he can talk that his ministry is for everybody. That's some of the things I want to say tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is very, I can feel the emotion in your views, Mr. Park. I know that our children have been benefiting from the bus service for the past years, and to pull it out just like that without putting a system in place, without hiring a bus to take them to and from school is literally putting a big dent on the pocket of the parents. We know that we are in a pandemic, that is one, and number two, cost of living. Cost of living. This is the one that I want to spend some minutes on, a few minutes. So I will take Mr. Basdeo. What is your take? What is your take on the cost of living? Do you think people can afford to survive as to what really
I
is happening now? And your views.
I think my mic is down a little bit. You can hear me loud and clear?
No, loud and clear. It's okay. It's very much.
Yeah, but I can't hear you. I can't hear the question just now, MP. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay. Well, it means somebody tried to call you so that you know. But yeah, just you're hearing me now.
Go ahead.
Check
Go ahead.
one. Good. Yeah. So I'm saying that we are on the topic of cost of living, something that is very much a sore problem at the moment. People are struggling to find money to put food on the table day after day. What is your take? How you when you are going around the region? Um, what are some of the complaints as it relates to cost of living?
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. And I don't see. I wrote a piece of note here, but I'll get to that. You know, I would say this much. You know, it was the time that the last week that two friends from the diaspora, we had a three-way conference, and the guy was saying me, and it's kind of a little joke as they say it, that during Jagan time there was a cup, but now during this administration there's a big barrel, and the barrel is still over there floating in Luziknan and on some lantern posts and things like that. Talking about the lantern post was flooded with 50,000 jobs. Where is the 50,000 jobs? It's 500 now. Where is the 49,000 plus? Where are all those jobs that they promise? It's all broken promises again. And the people cannot live with this. There's certain time you got to get out of this poverty, MP. But in some certain times, and I know as growing up from a small boy, that if you keep people in low poverty level, uneducated, and when come election time, you could get a lot of votes from them. Because you give them a $3,000 and a T-shirt. I'm not going to talk about the color. And then, you come out on your vote. And then once you win the election and election done, you're going back to square one, punishing again.
Square one.
And this got to stop. It's like a revolving door, And this customer practice got to stop. It have to stop. The people are educated now. The youths of tomorrow, they know what this country have to offer, but they're not getting it. It's selfishly internal distribution, and this got to stop. How long we'll maintain this and maintain people can't get a 3 square meal a day, not even one sometimes. The budget is not doing anything for the poor people. It's not doing nothing. $3,000 for old age pensioners. What $3,000 with high cost of living, transportation. And look, Mr. Horney was talking about the dams and the roads with school children. What about the old people, the handicapped ones? The old one cannot walk. The car's not going to take them into those cross streets. They got to walk in or find some other means of getting into their homes and getting out. And all this is wrong, Mr. MP. We as people, we as the representatives from the RDCs, the NDCs, the MPs, we have to come out here without fear or favor. You're not doing this as a friend thing here or keep your mouth shut and people can trample over your people. No. I spent a long time overseas and I'm back here, and to see this, it hurts me, and it hurts me bad. Right? And I'm not going to do no comparison. There's no comparison. This is an advanced technology world. Look at the oil and gas history that we have out there. So much of thousands and millions of barrels going out and no money for the people. When is this going to happen? There's no auditors or nothing like that. And we could go on and on with this and talk all night, Mr. MP. Right? We got to see some actions.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Mr. Park, what do you have to say about the high cost of living? How are you shaping up? How the people in the community?
Well, you sometimes you just got to start examining yourself first, and indeed pressure bust pipe. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. One day I sat down with my wife, and we just normally do a budget list of items that you got to get through to last you throughout the week. And as a man, as a husband, I had to end up quitting the list, quitting that exercise. Because, you know what I mean? When you think where the money going to come from, to offset this list. I mean, I must give kudos to those housewives. You know what I mean? As man, you can understand where you got to work and bring this money to you know what I mean, to offset your expense weekly. I quit the list. You understand? I quit it because I can't see where the money come from. And I want to tell you something clearly. You can use that said list this week and use it next week. You got to draft a next list. This is the reality in our country. This is the reality in Guyana. Every single day, things gone out of the roof. And it is real terrible. When I tell you real terrible, and you think about the less fortunate, people who might have maybe one person who working in the house and get a family of 3 or 4. I can't even imagine thinking about them. This is the real Guyana. This is the real thing. You understand? Everything pressure bust pipe, me brother. I'm telling you. No doubt about that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Basdale and Mr. Park. Indeed, the viewers, they appreciate what you guys are saying because that is the fact. That is the fact. The truth might be bitter for us, but we got to accept it. People who can afford it will pull up at the supermarket, Mr. Parker, Mr. Basdale. The rich man will pull up at the supermarket and load the car truck and drive away. But we who depend, you know, we got to survive day to day. Mr. Park made mention of a family of three children or 4. Just imagine if a family of 6 or 7, you know, what will happen or what is happening to them. And the government claims that, you know, we have a One Guyana story. Probably that is our new motto, you know, One Guyana. But we have a One Guyana, and you're giving our old folks, our pensioner, $100 a day. A bread is 2 something. Some place at 300 for bread. A bottle of soft drink at 200. You know, so sugar was a 200 a pound. Lime more dear. So you are giving our pensioners $100 more a day. 100 Guyana dollars from oil revenue. All this big money, all this big.
Pressure boss pipe. Pressure boss pipe, boy.
Right about now, living in Guyana right about now, I am in Guyana no more. I think I go go and get me visa and I go fly out and I go to Burmese and I go relax myself because I am in Guyana no more. I am in Guyana. I gotta go Burmese. I fly now go Burmese. Things cheap there.
You see, Mr. Parker, Mr. Basdale, the pressure make a lady forget location. You understand? So we got to look at it from all angles. People are very much frustrated and fed up. The geography become difficult for them. You know?
All right.
I'm saying that in all seriousness, the people who are the laborers who depend on day-to-day earnings, weak wage earners, they are suffering greatly. They are under stress. They are under stress. But a lot of them are ashamed to come out and say it. You know, they're suffering in silence. But I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters, wherever you are, now is the time to speak out. Share your views. You know, if we do not collaborate and fight this system together, we will never have a government who will look after all the people. I'm saying none of these chaps are angel. We have had individuals in our government who mismanage public funds, right? But we, the people of this country, must be able to be sensible, to say to the ministers and the elected bodies that here what happened. We have power in our hands. And if you mess up now, come 5 years, we pelt you out of office. You know, when we muster that strength and the courage to say to the politicians, get it right or we go get it right. Now a lot of body gonna be afraid. You know, a lot of body gonna be scared because they know that if they continue to treat the people bad, the people pelt them out next time, they will be out of job basically. So that is why we are having so much of these programs to continue to educate the people so that they can be able to have information to make the right decisions. Mr. Basil made a powerful statement earlier. Politicians basically wants to keep the people at a certain level, not too educated, not too sensible, so that they can control and play on their brains, work on their psyche, contaminate them, tell them the things that they want them to hear, so that they can get them to vote blindly for them. As soon as you get up and you have little education and you can think, you become a threat.
So true.
So, Mr. Basdeo, closing remarks. We got a few minutes.
You know, you want to closing remarks. Let me just be very quick. You know, the road, the public road, you know, there were some repairs again done on 43 to 47. It's
Yeah, I saw that
substandard
today.
work. I'm going to say it as it is.
It's
You go to
great.
even can't drive more than 15, 20 miles per hour. And the work was just recently completed. 52, 53, where there's a lot of damage there. No fixing of that road. You got to dodge some potholes. Going down to the main place where there was tragedies, 58, 59,
Nice.
terrible. Line Path Road, and I don't want to say it and too bad. It's like, you know, it's like an abortion road. Not to disrespect anybody, but that's how everybody is talking about it. All the poultry farms and everybody there. They say the road is so deteriorated. They cannot drive more than 5 miles dodging and all kind of thing on this road. And my viewers out there, we're going to be back again on this program. And I want to thank you all for looking at Mr. Dineshwar Jaipasad program every Tuesday night. And you're all going to be informed of the latest current affairs. And we're going to say it as it is. And they cannot tell me anything because I'm reading most of my stuff before I come in the program from the minutes, every monthly minutes. So it's there in writing. My brothers and sisters out there, you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week, right? And we'll see you again on another Tuesday night.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Park, closing remarks.
Again, Mr. MP, thank you for having me on your program. Just for the viewers, I want to say that this administration, you know, they adapt maybe, I want to say something that would put the people against the NDC. For example, you know, there are works sometimes like machinery come in your area to do cleaning and whatsoever. Apparently that the region, they doesn't inform the NDC. They just bring this thing and drop it in your community just like that. And so resident, you know, they're breaking the trust between the resident and you know, these things. So I want the resident to understand that the region is implementing some strategy which is separating the people from the NDC. They should have make all complaints to the NDC and let the NDC forward it to the region or whatsoever. On that note, Mr. Jaipasad, I want to say that I am very much happy to be a part of your program to inform people about development in communities and whatsoever. And I'm looking forward to be a part of your program whenever you know you want me to be available. Thank you once more. Good night to all your viewers.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless. So, brothers and sisters, viewers, listeners, there we had two wonderful gentlemen who have given you a mouthful as to what really is happening at the regional level and more so at the NDC. And I am saying to all of you, now is the time for you to air your concern. We are doing a part. We are doing our part, but we need you to support us. Forget the politics, forget the race, but let us look at the economic aspect. Let us look how we can be able to better and improve our standard of living. This money that this country now have belongs to all of us. It is not a PPP APNU AFC money. It is a Guyanese money. Oil belongs to all of us. And all of us must be able to enjoy the benefits. We must have good roads. We must have good hospital and schools and infrastructural work. And most importantly, we must have a standard of living, a high standard of living. We must go to the shop with our money, buy our groceries, pay our bills, and have enough for saving. That is what we want in this country. And if that happens, all of us will be happy. So thank you very much, 107.1 FM family, radio, live, Facebook, wherever you are. Thank you very much for having us tonight. God bless you. Stay safe. Remember, COVID is real. Don't get caught up. Wear your mask, get your vaccine, maintain your distance, and if it is possible, stay home as much as you can. God bless you. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Right about now, living in Guyana right about now, I am in Guyana no more. I think I will go and visa and I go fly out and I go to more meet and I go relax myself because I am in Guyana no more. I am in Guyana. I gotta go more meet.
Pressure boss pipe. Pressure boss pipe, boy. Ninja, Guyana de underwater. Oh, on the wrong. Sorry. Ninja, Guyana de under pressure. Walk. Bangamere $400 pong. Trout $400 pong. Oh, you go buy that sell back by. I just come and tell a boy, bisa buy me little fish and mix with me little crab and sell. Thing that just raise, thing just double, the price just double. Oh, partner. What you could do now? You don't squeeze out the juice for the Guyanese people. The beer hawks left, what you could do with the orange? We can't eat the fucking hawks that we can eat. Pressure boss pipe, partner, pressure boss pipe. When you put up a fucking 20,000 this week,